Clark.
Yeah.
The mailman delivers again. Woo!
Welcome, everybody, to Row 60, a Georgia football podcast. My name is Clark Gaines, and alongside me is Adam Thornton. He's joining me as always. And this is show number 5. We are ready. I can't believe we've done 5 of these already.
5 of them, Clark. We're here. The dogs are rolling.
Yep.
And we're excited. We get to talk about it. And we got a great show in store for everybody today.
Yeah, so we'll talk about the game day atmosphere this past Saturday. Dogs teed it up against UAB, had a nice 56
Yes, sir.
7 win.
56-7, brother. Yep. No defensive touchdowns given up.
That's right.
I mean, the offense, the UAB's offense did not cross the plane in Sanford Saturday.
No.
Golly, it was
Nor
great.
did Conniption and Charlotte.
No, they didn't.
But anyway, so we'll talk about this game, the atmosphere of it, the pageantry, if you will. We'll talk about our offense, our defense, and go into our special teams a little bit. Then towards the end of the show, we'll talk about the USCjr game coming up this week, opening up SEC football this week against Carolina.
Yes,
and then we'll also move to our pick'em. Adam, we didn't do, I think, well, maybe we did okay on the pick'em this week.
We struggled a little bit, Clark. I mean, we're going to talk. We're going to admit that.
Yeah.
We're not going to make excuses for it. We're going to own it. We'll get to that later in the show about how our analyst was on it. So we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But let's just say it was a very, very, very tough pick'em week for us.
Was.
And
I don't want to admit it, but
but it was. We're just going. We got a big plate of crow right here. We're going to eat it. We're going to eat it. And that's for sure. That's for sure. So
let's go. Let's talk about the atmosphere this week.
Let's do it.
This past weekend in Athens, it was a good day. Nice breeze. 70 degrees. There were a couple of clouds in the sky, but it did clear up there a little bit later on. Adam, how was it being back in row 60? This is the first time we've been in row 60 since 2019.
That's right.
How was it?
Man, it felt good. It felt right.
Yeah.
The world is back tilted on the perfect axis.
Yes.
And it was a perfect day for football in Athens. I mean, it just being able to drive into Athens and see it full, tents up, grills out, trunks of cars lifted, and everybody's just having a good time and enjoying the tailgate scene for a 3:30 kickoff.
Yeah.
Something like you mentioned, Clark, that they haven't been able to do in 2 years. And you could just feel the electricity in the air with it. People were excited to be out there. They've longed for this day to come back. And just one of those just simple joys in life that we get to have, that we're just blessed to be able to get to go out there and do that with the ones you love. A lot of families there in Athens Saturday. A lot of memories were made just all throughout that stadium, man. And that's what the love for college football in this state and this region of the country is about. It's the memories that we make with the ones we love. Going to these football games. And Saturday sure was one of them. It was perfect.
Yes.
Couldn't have dialed up anything
No.
better.
We broke out the chairs. It was 3:30 kickoff, so we didn't really need the tent there because we got there a little bit later in the day. Didn't break out the tent, Adam. We had the chairs there and had some good discussion. We met a guy named Robbie Camp. Shout out to him if he's listening.
Shout out to Robbie. Interesting guy. Good conversation. I mean, you could always meet a friend at a Georgia football game, at the tailgate, at your seats, man. It's just everybody has a common interest.
That's it.
And everybody just loves to just be able to sit with somebody that you don't even know, never even met before, and you can have a conversation with them like you've known them for 20 years.
Yeah.
That's what Georgia football does. That's what this community is about, man.
Right.
So, I mean, another example of that was Saturday, and man, it was just good to be back. It was good to be back. Just everybody there in red and black, 92,000 strong. Sanford was rocking and rolling the whole afternoon, just like the dogs were all afternoon, and it was just everything was back right with the world.
Yeah. I tell you, I got goosebumps listening to Bob O'Reilly.
Yes, sir.
I've been waiting to hear that in Sanford for so long.
Love
it sends chills down my spine. I just, it gets me going. So, Adam, this week, by the way, let's mention this right quick.
All right.
Where you will be taking over the Peach State Pride Instagram page.
Yes, sir, Clark. I'm telling you, everybody out there needs to go ahead right now, get out your mobile devices, get on the old Instagram if you have one, or get on your wife's Instagram or whatever, or your love child, whoever has an Instagram in the house, because somebody has an Instagram in the house. Get on there, go to Peach State Pride, follow them, figure out how you can view a story, and follow us in Athens Saturday. I promise you it's going to be a treat. We're going to bring the whole game day experience from getting there, tailgating, to in the game, and really just try to bring what our routine is on a game day in Athens to you at home for your enjoyment, and we'll answer questions, man, and really that's what we're about in this podcast, is to try to bring the fan experience to other diehard fans who might not be able to be there at that game. So
I tell you, it was really cool. Speaking of that, Adam, it was bringing the experience to people. It was really cool seeing Pam and Jim Wilcox make a 9-hour drive. 9-hour drive.
DGD's right there.
Yes, from Southwest Florida. They drove up. They were our winners of our ticket giveaway. It was just awesome seeing them enjoy the game and enjoy Athens and the game day experience. And, man, hopefully we can do that again in the future for another couple of dog fans out there. So keep your eyes peeled, people. Don't only follow Peach State Pride on Instagram, follow us as well, Row 60.
That's right.
Find us on Facebook. We're kind of all over the place.
A lot of good giveaways coming up in the future. And it was a blessing to meet Jim and Pam. Their first Georgia game. Jim and Pam, they said it was their first time in Athens since 1988.
Wow.
So a long hiatus from the Classic City, if you will. But it was exciting to meet them. They were into it as their first game. They were into it from the beginning of the game to the very end. Jim was fired. I mean, every touchdown, they were sitting a few rows below us. We'd give a good point to them.
Yes.
And Jim brought the energy that everybody needs to bring on Saturdays.
I'm telling you, if we had 92,000 Jim Wilcoxes in Sanford Stadium, I don't think we'd lose a
opposing
single
O-line wouldn't be able to not have false start.
Their ears would be bleeding.
Bleeding. I loved it, Jim. Loved the passion. That's what we're all about here, is fans like that. And being able to do that and see how much Jim and Pam enjoyed it was just a blessing. And like you said, Clark, just be looking out the future. Got a lot of good stuff planned. A lot of good stuff planned.
So, Adam, one thing in Row 60 you pointed out was the popcorn this week.
It was a roller coaster of emotion, Clark. Roller coaster of emotion. So, I will have to say, as far as getting people in and out at the concessions of Sanford Stadium, it's a pretty good setup compared to other venues that I've been to in the past. I mean, you can get in there fairly good and get out fairly quick. I mean, they got a good system as far as, you go and you pick up what you want. It's there. It's aligned. And you go to the register and pay and whatnot. So I'm thinking, all right, we're rolling here. We're rolling. And then I get to the popcorn line, man, $2 popcorn bucket. Dang, $2. This is good stuff right here. Yeah. So I get the popcorn and bring it back to the seat. All's well. Love it. Yep. Looking forward. I mean, you can't beat a good football game without a bucket of popcorn. You just can't beat it. You got to have a bucket of popcorn with you. So grab a big handful of it. Just tasted like rubber. It was very rubbery. It tasted like I was eating a tire, just pieces of chunked up tire.
Buttery tire.
My wife thought of it, and I kept passing around. I was like, I at least got to eat $2.
Yeah.
So kept eating it and getting it down, and tried to get everybody else around. Like, hey, y'all need to try this popcorn. It tastes like rubber. Try. So UGA concessions, love you. But we got to work on the popcorn. Like you said, Clark, I think that popcorn was left over from last November of 2020. Yeah. I mean, they just brought it out, heated it up a little bit, and there we go. But the Zaxby's ice was good. That was a good change, a whole lot better. The ice in Sanford Stadium has been a complaint on message boards and everywhere else and around the Bulldog Nation for a while now, actually. So we come in, we make an upgrade, good crush, Zaxby's ice. That was good, but the popcorn was a little bit of a disappointment. So, we just need to work on that next week. Everybody can get better. We as fans can get better. The concessions can get better. The team can get better. It's a joint effort as a Bulldog Nation to just keep chopping wood and getting better in our respective areas of game day experiences. So that's it.
Oh, that's my goodness. Well, one thing that did not disappoint, Adam, was our offense. We finally finally started up, cranked it up. Scored a hefty 56 points, definitely covered the spread. I think the spread somewhere in the 30s.
Yeah, maybe 32. I can't remember right offhand, but I think it was around 32-point range, 32, 33 points.
Yeah, we smacked them. And
smoked them.
I think a lot of people going into this game kind of expected it to be that way. And then I think there were a couple thousands of people that probably thought it wasn't going to go that way, that the offense wasn't going to get going, that we were going to maybe struggle against a team like UAB, which who by the way, they are a good, well-coached football team. As you mentioned last week, they're disciplined. Coach Bill Clark, is that correct?
Coach Bill Clark, that's him,
I think, we put a beat down on him, but he gave us a lot of credit afterwards. And I think he understands as much as anyone else in the nation that we're a good football team. Georgia is a solid football team. There's a reason right now that we are 2-0 and that we are ranked number 2 in the nation.
Clark, that performance Saturday was textbook of how it's supposed to be when you play an opponent like UAB.
Yeah.
Because UAB is a good football team, a good Conference USA football team. You go out there and you smack them from the opening kickoff, 60 minutes of just pure domination. And championship caliber football teams, that's what you do. And it's imperative to mention how Kirby Smart and his staff kept this team focused. A big neutral site game against Conniption to open up the season. And, you could have a letdown after a big win like that. Primetime game of the week, open up the season, and then you get an opponent like UAB. That's cause concern, that it could be a letdown. But this team was focused. The leadership from these players that we've talked about, from the coaching staff, to have them dialed in. And when you have that going on and your play is like it is, that's exactly what the doctor ordered for a championship season. Just continuing to build on that week to week. So you couldn't have asked for any better Saturday, Clark, out of this team. I mean, I was honestly in the camp that I thought it was going to be maybe a lackluster performance, honestly. I still thought we would win comfortably, but I thought there would be some ugly facets of the game. Right. And there wasn't.
Yeah.
There wasn't.
Yeah.
So,
So we'll talk about the good, and I do think there's a bad that both of us kind of pointed out about this game, about our offense here. But one thing that I found really impressive was the mailman. Stetson Bennett stepped up, and you know what? He made a comment. I don't know if it was before or after the game, but he said that he was preparing for this game as if he were about to play Clemson. And that is the kind of mentality that not only the quarterback should have, the backup quarterback at that should have, but the entire team, the entire football team, the entire fan base. Got to prepare each week like you're playing the best. And I think, that is why we came out and we won 56-7. That is why Stetson Bennett, good gosh, I think his QBR was somewhere in the 500s at one point. That's ridiculous, people. The average is, somewhere in the hundreds.
Yeah, tied the all-time touchdown record. So 5. Yes. David Green, I know he threw 5 against LSU in 04. If I'm saying this correctly, I know DJ Shockley threw 5, opened up the season against Boise State in 05. So back-to-back years like that. So he threw 5 of them Saturday. And, man, what I love about Stetson Bennett, and it's a good story for any young up-and-coming athletes about how you face adversity. I mean, this kid was a pivotal part of the scout team, Clark, and you were on the video staff then during the Rose Bowl run in 17 as a freshman. And then he transfers to JUCO, comes back to Georgia. Last year, during the strange year it was, has to come into relief in the opener to rally Georgia back in Fayetteville, Arkansas that Saturday. And then he has the job for a while, gets injured. JT Daniels takes the job. And what's he do? He doesn't just go sulk, pout, get into the transfer portal. He just keeps working, does his job, puts his head down, and like you said, Clark, prepared for when his opportunity had to come, and it came Saturday. Yeah, came Saturday. So, you couldn't ask better for what he did, and he offered up. He had an opportunity, came out there, he grasped it, and he took it. So, very exciting.
I like, we saw him, we saw Carson, we saw Brock Vandegrift,
that last series. Vandegrift, he came out there the last series a little bit.
So, we saw our second, third, and fourth string. Didn't see our first. JT Daniels still suffering from some sort of oblique injury.
No oblique injury. Clark, I thought when I first heard the word oblique, I think that's a foreign word I've seen on my wife's makeup tube, sitting there on the bathroom vanity. Like oblique is like, that sounds like something on the makeup tube or something. So
I think it's
but it's right here. It's a muscle right here in the abdomen area, in the anterior of the abdomen area right there. So
good anatomy.
Yeah. So, and honestly, it sounds like, and what this means is dang, Kirby has the butt smear just sealed.
Yes.
I mean, lockjawed. Because I believe JT hurt it before the Clemson game,
Yeah.
and maybe re-aggravated it at the very beginning of the Clemson game. So you had a JT Daniels out there, and we got to give props to him, Clark, because he came out the Clemson game and definitely wasn't 100%. We didn't know that at the time, but he wasn't. He goes and fights through a big game, not at his best, not at feeling his best, and pulls off the W there, and then they give him the rest against UAB. So all around, man, that's the one thing about this team I've noticed. Everybody is bought in, and everybody is doing their job. Selfless.
Yes.
Selfless guys in that locker room. And you don't see that a lot in sports or in the workplace in general this day and age. But that group of kids in that locker room, man, they got their head on their shoulders, and it's special what's brewing in Athens. The chemistry, everything's just special.
Yeah, I tell you what else was brewing was our vertical passing game. Thank goodness we stretched the field down vertically there. Got the second play of the game, play action pass to Jermaine Burton. For those who didn't get to see that with Tennessee game being on, that's a debacle. Are you kidding me? The number 2 team in the nation is playing, and you didn't? Did you hear about that? How? I think they had Tennessee playing.
Yeah, I mean, the first 2 touchdowns were missed.
Ridiculous. Golly.
Oh, man. Yeah. The wide receiver play was awesome. So I loved it. Some young guys got some touches. Donnie Mitchell caught some balls. Aaron Smith, just a speed burner, man. He's a threat, a downfield threat, and has been since he started playing late last year and this year, too, showing the signs of the same thing. He can stretch the field. And Jermaine Burton, he's getting healthier, looking good. So very excited. Brock Bowers, man. Let's just talk about Brock Bowers for 1 second.
Kid, I have never seen a tight end that has run that fast down the field. I haven't done.
I mean, for the kid to have the wheels that he does, and the strength already as a true freshman.
Yeah.
It's unreal what the sky, just the limit is for this kid. Yeah. I mean, the sky's the limit with this guy. And just the thought process of when you get these guys back, when you get a Dominic Blaylock back, when you get a Darnell Washington back, because you're going to have packages where Tom Monken's going to put Darnell, Big O, and Brock Bowers on the field at the same time.
And if we get Gilbert back.
If we get Eric Gilbert back, that's one thing I think Georgia fans, don't hold your breath on that. If it one of these things, like, just don't expect it to happen, but if it happens, to be pleasantly surprised about it. And we're still thinking about him and praying about him and hope he gets well. But yeah, Clark, if you had that scenario coming back, shoot. And Kyrus Jackson, looked really good returning punts. We'll get to that on special teams, but he is yet. I don't guess everybody thinks he's ready quite yet for down-to-down receiver play on the offensive side of the ball yet. But he's going to be a guy too. You add in that lineup. So, but I mean, the guys who got touches on Saturday, Lab McConkey had a long run. Some young guys got some valuable experience. I don't think if you were Kirby Smart, you could have asked for any better from how the game plan went, the experience you got for younger guys. Right. And that's important at the beginning of the season. Get everybody you can reps, get experience as you get deeper and deeper when it just more injuries come up, everything else comes up, and just the grind of the season, you need more guys ready to go, and the more experience, the better with them.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. The offensive line, a little shaky, playing when we were trying to run there.
Right.
There's a little hesitancy there. I don't know if it was just couldn't create holes or what was going on, but it just didn't really look up to par, And I think we've been spoiled as Georgia football fans over the past several years with our offensive line play, especially run blocking there. And they tend to get that second level. And I mean, it allows our running backs to get to that second, third level as well. We see those explosive plays. Didn't really see that on Saturday. I don't know what the deal is. Adam, do you have an idea?
Well, I tell you, Clark, we talked about it last week with the Tate Ratledge injury. It's trying to – Matt Luke's got to find that right group of guys, and these guys got to step up and say, hey, this is going to be my spot. I'm not taking – or getting it took from me. And I think Jamari Salyer is going to be a guy you're going to have at left tackle. That pivotal spot on the line, being left tackle, protecting the quarterback's blind side. I know you have a guy like Broderick Jones, very talented. Doesn't look like he's quite ready yet. There was one throw, I think Stetson's throw to Arian Smith, that long touchdown throw. He stood in the pocket good, but Broderick's guy went right by him. But, and that's no slam on him. The guy's just got to develop. He's going to be a superstar. He's going to be really good, and there's a lot of raw and great talent on that line, but they're going to have to just keep getting better every week. And one thing in their defense, what UAB did and what exactly made it that we did stretch the field so vertically or downfield is because they committed they were going to stop the run. They were going to put 8 in the box all day. True. They were going to stack the box and then to make Georgia beat them through there. And my gosh, Stetson Bennett torched them through there.
Yeah, he did.
So, I mean, when you have that and they're leaving their corners on the island against the guys we have, we capitalize on it. Mm-hmm. And they stayed with that all day. And yes, they stopped the run, and that was nice to see that even if it was UAB, a good mid-level Conference USA team, we were able to take what the defense gave us and put the ball in the air and move yards that way. But, yeah, I mean, the line does have to get better if we want to keep achieving the offensive goals that we want to achieve, what ultimately will lead to the team's success or where we want to get to.
Right.
So, I'm not going to just sound the alarm on them
no.
by any means. 2 great games coming up, South Carolina and Vanderbilt, where these guys get good game experience, keep improving, and everything before some of the meat of the schedule gets here. And I think they will. But, I mean, to say that it's not a concern right now, we would be lying. We would be lying. It's probably right now the most underwhelming unit out there. I mean, if we're not going to be all rainbows and butterflies with everything, and I mean, God, we could. We're blessed. We're not complaining. But, we do have to point out some areas like this. It would be the offensive line right now.
Right. Adam, I know you saw it. I don't know if the rest of the Bulldog Nation saw this. Kirby had an absolute conniption. He was, I've never, there may have been a couple of other times I've seen him that mad, but
Missouri 18 might have been.
Missouri 18, Kentucky, yes. Kentucky 18 too.
Oh, right? Yeah.
But he lost it there when who threw the pick six? Was it Carson?
It was Carson Beck, and I think there was 2 things. Carson Beck, if you saw, and we don't want to single the guy out.
No,
I mean it was just really his first significant playing time. I think he got in the game last year up in Columbia, Missouri, but first time in the game. You looked I mean, shows, but I mean, he is developing. So we're not going to just sit here and say the kid did off. Because he didn't. He really he showed some good potential out there. But one play, that pick six that did happen, he was trying to hit, I believe it was running back in the flats, overshot him. UAB takes it back for 6. But instead of running after the guy, kind of shrugged it off, kind of walked to the sidelines.
Yeah.
Brock Vandegrift comes out the next year. So I'm sure, Carson got him a nice little chat about that. But I think what really made Kirby mad was the fact, you could just see him in that headset. I'm guessing it was to Todd Monken up in the booth. Like, why in the world are we throwing the football right now up 56-0? And then we're trying to work on this shutout. We throw a pick six in garbage time. But he was grabbing that microphone. I mean,
he just strangles his headset like this.
I mean, you can see, you are a long ways away, but you just see the hand motions going everywhere. I mean, just honestly, you're worried for the man's health. Of how he just, but that's the Saban micromanaging part that makes coaches successful coaches what they are.
Yeah.
And even though you're winning by 56 points against UAB late in the 4th quarter, if something that you don't like happens, then you're still just into it, energy levels there, not going to stop until the final whistle's blown. Coaching, playing, everything.
You got to love that about Kirby. It is truly a different mindset, and I really don't think you see that in a lot of other coaches out there. A lot of teams will be satisfied with a 56-7 victory, and after, once you reach that point, who cares what happens, right?
Yeah.
But Kirby's attention to detail, his no-nonsense attitude that he is more or less inherited from Nick Saban, it's phenomenal, and I think that's one of the things that's going to keep this team going through this year is that same mentality that we're not satisfied, we're not going to settle, we're not going to get comfortable. Kirby has, I think, enshrined this in his players and his football team, not just the players, his staff too, his assistant coaches, all the way down to the student managers. Right. I guarantee you, he has everybody going the same way, and I think it's going to pay dividends. That mentality is good stuff, people. That's what you like to see, and that's why Kirby Smart is our guy. He's our guy.
That's right. So when you develop an expectation level and everybody learns where they have to be at individually to meet that, and that is a requirement, nothing less, then special things, when everybody's bought into it, special things happen.
Yeah.
And I think truly, that is kind of what we're witnessing right now. Mm-hmm. That's happening in Athens, Georgia.
Yeah.
Man, it's exciting.
Whew.
Let's go.
Yes.
Woo!
I tell you, Adam, one of the most impressive things I saw all day, and then we're switching gears here majorly. We're talking about our defense now.
Let's talk about
But
the D.
Jordan Davis hawked down was it the running back or the quarterback?
It was quarterback, man.
Yeah.
Quarterback got
Hawked
out.
him down.
Yeah. The guy scrambled for a first down that play. But what stood out was the speed.
Yeah.
And, and most defensive linemen in there is like, oh, I'm going to let a linebacker or DB go get him.
Yeah.
They're huffing and puffing. But Jordan Davis, the hustle until the whistle was blown and being able to just get him and wrap one of them big bear arms and claws around that quarterback and bring him to the ground, just impressive. I mean, the guy all the way around is just an impressive individual. Yeah. Great football player, great guy. Man, I'm excited to have him.
Oh, I am too. We won't have him much longer, but we're going to enjoy his presence.
That's right.
While he is here. Adam, defensive line looked good. I thought, all around our defense, there's really no complaints. I couldn't find anything. I tried to, but
no, there's not. I mean, another just high level play by the defensive front. Man, you got guys like Nazir Stackhouse getting in, Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, man, and then and Devontae White, Trayvon Walker. I mean, these guys are phenomenal, and it's amazing the speed and the size that they have. Still in the inside linebacker play, Channing Tindall continued getting better. Nakobe Dean continued to do his thing, and the secondary, Clark. The secondary has been the most pleasant surprise, I believe, of the 2021 season so far. I mean, right now there's 4 interceptions on the board.
Yeah.
4 interceptions.
What, 10 sacks?
Yeah, 10 sacks, 4 interceptions. 3 of the picks came this past Saturday. Big Keely Ringo got one, guy that's been highly touted in his redshirt freshman year. Lewis Seen got him one for the first time in a couple years. I think the last one he had was against Arkansas State in 19. So one of these veteran guys got one. And then big Jamin Dumas Johnson, the freshman coming in later, housing him one, getting in on it. So a lot of young defensive studs got in the game. Big Smile Mondon came in at linebacker, Ryan Davis and these guys coming in and really just lighting it up, man. The future and developing depth, developing experience, what you got to have. And that was on display Saturday. And everybody came in and played up to the level that they were supposed to. And that's what was exciting about it. And that right there, Clark, I mean, you can't put in the words when you come in that late and that late of a game, and you have that big of a lead, and to play 100% just till the whistle blows like those guys on the defense side of the football did. Yeah. They're all balled in. Yeah. All balled in.
You got to love it. The depth. I mean, it's good. It's what we need, and I think that separates, like you look at the East, Adam, this year. Yeah, we're clearly number 1 in the East. As far as the standings go, it's funny. Kentucky is number 1 in the East.
They got the lone win, right?
They got the lone win, but man, I think there's such a difference between 1 and 2. Like Florida, I mean, I know they have some talent. I'm not writing them off, but you can just tell by watching any given Georgia football game, we have depth and we've got a lot of talent in that depth, right?
Yes,
I mean, it's not just our first string. Our second string has talent. I mean, all the way down. So that's important to have, especially in the coming years.
You're exactly right, Clark. And I think that's something. This is definitely the most deep team that we've ever seen here at Georgia, in my opinion. And I think in the years past, going back into the previous regime, that first team depth is there. Elite of the elite. But then it wears you down, and you got to have those guys come in the second team, and they have to be elite as well.
Right.
And that's where we saw a lot of where we would get beat at during them times. But now, man, top to bottom, just unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. It's an embarrassment of riches. I mean, golly, you have your, at the beginning of the week, third string quarterback come in. He's co-offensive player of the week in the SEC.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, man. Offense, defense looked really good last week.
I'm telling
Special teams, Adam. Overall, looked good.
Overall, man.
But,
Camarda's a stud.
Yeah.
Camarda is a stud, and a valuable weapon you want to have on your football team.
Sure.
He has not missed on a punt this year. Not missed on a punt. On the flip side, yes, we'll have to bring up Pod Lesney, Jack Pod right now. Clark, what do you think? I think, honestly, after missing a pretty much a chip shot, let's call it that.
Yeah.
Call it that this past Saturday and at Clemson. That makes him 1 for 3 for field goals. I don't think he is right now. Kirby is going to just yank them out. But are you concerned, Denny, that if it comes down in the coming weeks, where it is a one-possession game or so, trotting them out there right now? I mean, it looks like he's got a case of the old yips right now.
Yeah.
And you'll have that from time to time in every sport.
Well, I tell you, I know it's a lot harder of a job than it looks. Place kicking, I'm sure, is not easy. One time kicked successfully made a extra point at practice.
Did you now?
In high school, I did.
Nice.
But, you know, I also attempted that 50 other times and missed 49. So I understand how difficult that job can be. You know, I don't know. It's a mentality thing.
Well,
I think you got to get in the groove of it, and momentum's a big thing. I think if you're kicking and you're making every single one, you just get on a roll.
It's like
I think your mentality, right? Exactly. It's like shooting a free throw. Bobby Knight, you know, he would hit 800 free throws in a row, but he did the same thing over and over and over and over in different conditions, different environment, right? Sometimes you have wind, sometimes the hold isn't correct or whatever. So I don't know what it is yet. But yeah, I don't think it's necessary to freak out. Jack Pod will obviously be spending tons of time working on that and making sure we get those points, because those are, like you brought up, those could be critical points in big games. It interests me how, I don't know how you do this. You kick a 50-plus yard game-winning field goal in the Peach Bowl, but then you miss some chip shots. But I get it. You know,
it's crazy. I mean, that's what makes the game, you know, what it is, and why only a select few are talented enough to get to that point and to be able to be a Division I football player.
Right.
But, I mean, yes, and again, there's even depth at kicker, Cart.
Yeah.
Jake Kamara can go out there and place kick. And you got Jared Zirkle, a talented guy. He's a 3-star recruit out of Texas the other year. So you got him, and so there's options there if Podlesny doesn't get back on the right track.
Right.
But we hope he does.
He will.
You know, the next 2 games will hopefully be some good opportunities to trot them out there, you know. But, I mean, everybody gets a case of the yips every now and then in any profession. So,
well, it's definitely not as bad as Alabama's curse. You know, I think there's a trade-off when you get a good offense and good defense. Sometimes you get a bad kicker. I don't think that's the case with us. Jack Pod, we believe
it's gonna be all right.
You're gonna be fine, buddy.
You got it. Just go out after practice, kick you a few more. You know, do whatever any ritual you need to do. Just get rid of them yips, and it's gonna be all right. Big Jack's gonna be all right.
We may need to go to the end zone from here on out and just give it good. You know, facing the Giants right there. Bam.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Just up. Yes, everybody needs to do that. Lift up the hands, you know, for old Jack Pod.
For Rod, we had the glasses, right?
Yes.
Everybody would do this. They would either wear the glasses or they would do this. Actually, I don't know if they did this, but I wanted them to do this, and I tried to start it there. My freshman year, where we put the goggles on, and for Rod, but you know, this year, Jack Pod, he doing that too. So that's it. Right. That's it.
Like it.
Anything else you want to mention about the UAB game?
I mean, going back on special teams, Kyrus Jackson, a very good, reliable punt return. You know, one of these guys that will make a smart decision. If he's inside the 10, he's going to let the ball go, get a touchback, get the ball on the 20, you know, and a guy that's reliable that's going to field a kick cleanly, knock on wood. God. But returned a couple good ones today.
Whoa.
So, you know, you'll have that then. So
it's all good. We got Dolly barking.
Dolly barking. We knocked. And no, I mean, we got everybody to listen to us.
Everybody's fired up now.
Everybody's jacked up about that then. So, you know, it's all good time. All good time. Then, so.
Well, let's talk about the USC game. Move on here. Talk about South Carolina.
Give it to us then, Clark.
Frank Beamer coming in with the Gamecocks, 7:00 p.m. kickoff. Good night game. You can find that game on ESPN if you're not going. If you are going, ladies and gentlemen, please get loud. It bothers me sometimes how people just don't get fired up. Come on, give a good. Remember, if you can't think of a good vowel to shout, just scream mayo. 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 I mean, any word will do. Just be loud. Be loud. All right. Gotta increase the energy this Saturday. You know, UAB, understandable. We don't want to, destroy our vocal cords before we get into the big one.
But Clark, this is the first SEC game. It's time to start the gauntlet.
Yep.
Get ready for dominance, revenge tour. I don't care if we did kill them last year in Columbia. They're back in Athens, need to make up for what happened in 2019 again. Always good to beat South Carolina, Clark.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting fact, we've lost to them 5 years out of the past 10. Since 2010, the game in Columbia in 10 where we got beat, and that started a 3-game losing streak, those guys, during the height of the Spurrier area, and probably the height of South Carolina football, for being honest, which consisted of one SEC East championship. Yeah.
Yeah.
The prime year. So, I mean, nothing special.
Yeah.
But they did get the best of us. And I mentioned that 19 game, 14. So, I mean, if you look at it, it's like, dang, we're close to 500 against some of the past decade. That's hard to believe. But when you think about it, start adding up them wins and losses. You know, this hadn't been a team. Honestly, we had a little 4-year run in Kirby's tenure.
Yeah.
But it has not been a team where we have just dominated over the past decade.
And which is interesting because I mean, you look at teams like Florida. I mean, what's the Florida record this decade?
It'd probably be about the same. I mean, you had 3 wins earlier and then 3 wins now, and then you went through some times last year you get beat by them, lose 3 in a row to them.
But I mean, you're doing better
14, 15, 16. So,
right. So in the past decade, you're doing
better against Florida than South Carolina. Yeah, that's exactly right. So, you know, it's a big game when Spurrier was there. Obviously, you know, it felt like the just the hype for it was a whole lot bigger. That 2012 game was a top 10 matchup. Man, and that was a terrible game. Wound up getting boat raced in Columbia. 14 was another big-time matchup. So this has become a new rivalry, even though maybe in the past few years since Spurrier has left Columbia, it hadn't been quite as hyped up for fans, I believe. But it's important to win South Carolina because I don't think if you don't win the South Carolina game, it's very hard to get to Atlanta. We did it in 19, but it's very hard to get to Atlanta, especially when you still have the Floridas of the world coming up and teams like Kentucky now are playing respectable football. And so it's a big game, always big when you play a in conference, not only in conference, in division opponent. And the guy and team next door, and with a young coach, a good guy, Shane Beamer, that's what I like to call him, just a good guy. Because when I look at Shane Beamer, you know what I think of, like, you know, his like father. one of these his father, but one of these picture frames, you know, like you get at Walmart that has just a generic family photo. He just looks like the dad. Beamer. He looks like the dad. Oh, Shane Beamer just looks like the dad in the generic photo that you get from Walmart. You know, just a good guy, good smile. Just imagine being a good family man, good father, good husband, you know, all the way around. So did you see him, Clark, when they beat East Carolina last week, you know, kicked them a field goal there and beat them 20-17 and got emotional. Oh, Shane got emotional. Big win in Greenville, North Carolina. Yeah, against the Pirates. Yeah, he was fired up about it, and I understand that. That's your dream to be a high level P5 head football coach.
We couldn't do it,
but no, we couldn't do it. But you know, he cares about his team. I think he'll be good there. You'd already starting to show some decent classes coming in, and you know, he's got a big hole to climb out of over there. But you know, he's one that. He's easy to pull for, but not Saturday.
Not Saturday. Yeah, coming off a win against Eastern Illinois.
Right.
Big win there, Adam. I mean, really just, wow.
Oh, yeah.
No, in East Carolina. But, they have more wins than their little brother down I-85 there.
Yeah.
Clemson.
Right.
So, I mean, really, if we're being honest here, South Carolina, as far as the record, is the team of the Palmetto State.
Yeah. Going for the sweep of the Palmetto State this weekend.
Yeah. This is it.
Make it 2-0. Let's do it, man.
Spread, Adam, is 31 points. Favoring the Dogs.
Hey.
Golly.
That tells you right there where both these programs are right now.
That's true, yeah. 31 points. Are you taking the over? Or sorry, not the over. Are you taking the Dogs to cover the spread? 31 points. You are.
Yeah, I think this team's dialed in, man. I could be wrong. I could eat some crow, and there might be a game where it doesn't look like they get off the bus, but this is a different feel.
Yeah,
and we've talked about it, but you cannot hammer home the point enough. The leadership on this team, from coaches down to players, the focus is going to be there. Obviously, the talent is in our favor, and about every position group you break down, Carolina, I think it is. Shane Beamer is going to make them better. I really do think that.
Yeah,
and he's going to bring guys in, but not this year. He's not going to make them better between now and this upcoming Saturday.
Yeah,
the offensive line is sitting there. The defensive line, I feel like, is going to have another heyday in the backfield.
Yeah.
And I think Georgia's going to roll, and the offense is going to roll. It could be to the tune of. I'll wait till the end to give a score prediction. Okay. But let's just say I'm feeling it.
Okay.
I'm feeling it. Fun Saturday night. And how about you, Clark? What you think?
Oh, man. You know, I want to take I don't know if it's going to be 31. I think it's going to be more along the lines of 28. 4 touchdowns. Still a whopping.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're going to go 28 points.
But I don't think it's they score. I think it's we don't score as much as we did last week. So we'll see. We'll see. I think the defense is going to be a little our offense is going to be tested a little bit more than what they were last week. Just because it's an SEC team. Now, granted, I will say this. Though. I have not actually watched South Carolina, and that's poor. That's poor preparation on my part. Let's just hope the Dogs aren't as awfully prepared as I am right now.
I think one can make an argument UAB would beat South Carolina.
Are you serious?
We're head up right now.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
Good gracious.
I think UAB could beat Eastern Carolina.
I know who they.
I mean, they won the conference last year. Yeah. UAB did. So, and
they could beat Akron and Alabama State.
They could beat Akron and Alabama State. You know who else they could beat?
Who?
They could beat Jacksonville State to the tune of 31-0 in week 1. You know who Jacksonville State could beat? They could go down to Tallahassee, Florida, and embarrass the Seminoles.
They already did that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. We're getting off track talking about that, but you know it all comes full circle in college football. Yeah. That's why you love it.
That's true. The over under, Adam. Right quick. Let's just do this too. You taking the over under on 48.5 points?
I don't think I am, Clark, and I'm going to tell you why. I do not think I'm going to take it because I do not think Georgia is going to break 50 points.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're going to score. I think we'll be pleased with the offensive performance.
Yeah.
But just Carolina's not going to have any points to contribute to get over that mark.
Yeah, yes.
That's what I'm leaning right now.
I'm there with you. I think it's going to be more along the lines of 38.
That's right.
We'll see. All right. The pick'em. Let's talk about last week's picks, Adam. Didn't do too hot. We did get one right, and we're going to talk about it.
Yes, we're going to talk about it. We got the most important right.
That's it. Oregon at Ohio State, noon game there in the Horseshoe, 35-28. The Ducks came out alive. I think we both picked Ohio State to win.
Very surprising.
And man, how does that change the playoff picture, Adam? Because Ohio State, that was one of my Final Four teams. I really did have them in my Final Four, and they're not out of it by necessarily, but it's not looking too good.
I tell you, Clark, it really shocked me because I thought Ohio State, after lackluster performance in Minnesota the first Thursday night of the season, was really going to come together. C.J. Stroud get a game under his belt in Columbus, in the shoe, and I thought they were going to win by a couple touchdowns, honestly. I wasn't high on Oregon, and that just shows you never know week to week. I mean, it went down the wire in Eugene in week 1 against Fresno State for Oregon. So they come in there. Mario Cristobal is a really, really good football coach, and that defense is real good for Oregon. Oregon has a physical line, and they could play something you don't see out of the Pac-12 very often. And, that's 2 of their best players didn't even play on defense.
Right.
So I think what it does to the playoff picture, Clark, if Oregon goes undefeated, you have to put them in, because what they did, they go out and they schedule a tough non-conference opponent, go to their place and win it and put it on their resume.
Right.
And I think just the thing that people have been against Pac-12 teams is because the Pac-12 is a weak conference from top to bottom, and there hadn't been many just out of conference, just good games.
Yeah.
So that's been the weakness for them. But Oregon goes, schedules one, wins it. If they go dominate the Pac-12,
which is possible,
I think it would be very hard pressed not to find a spot for them.
Yeah,
I really do. So
I guess the only other team out there in the Pac-12 would be UCLA.
Yeah, UCLA maybe. I mean, they're in position to do the same thing. I mean, Ohio State's a better resume win than LSU, but hey, they're right there too if they do it, and especially if they go out and dominate the Pac-12.
Right.
USC's not going to do it. They might surprise. They just fire Clay Helton. So I don't think it's going to be between UCLA and Oregon. Chip Kelly's new team versus Chip Kelly's old team. And if they go undefeated, and especially the Pac-12 not being in the playoff since 2016, so roughly 5 years ago, man, it changes a lot. Changed it a lot. And I mean, God, can you believe we're sitting here week 2 and Clemson and Ohio State already have an L?
That's crazy.
Already have an L.
That's crazy.
So wild year of college football.
Yeah, that's why you play the
wild
game.
Year of college football.
We can do all the talking we want, and all the experts and analysts and people out in Vegas, they can talk all they want, but until you line it up and play it on the gridiron, you never know what's going to happen.
That's right.
So another game that had the same score, actually, 35-28, Mizzou at Kentucky. The Cats stayed alive, and I think we picked the Wildcats, I should say. They're both cats. They're Tigers and Cats, but Yeah, Kentucky stayed alive during that game. It came down to the wire there. Adam.
Yeah, it did.
How do you think that game shapes the SEC East? I mean, where does that put Kentucky, and then where would that put Mizzou kind of towards the end of the year?
I think what it did was Kentucky will be at least third place now,
Yeah,
and Missouri will be fourth. I think Missouri is a better football team than South Carolina, Vanderbilt, and Tennessee. So winning that game, and Kentucky's offense is just been revamped this year.
Yeah.
New offense, and they're talking about the air raid over there, but they won it on the ground against Missouri.
They pounded.
And both of them are a real good football team. I really feel that way, and really coached well. And honestly, Kentucky should have won it by more. They fumbled one on the goal line right there going into the end zone, and it should have been more than what they did, but Kentucky's going to be a tough team. What's going to be interesting is seeing them against Florida. That's not going to be a gimme for Florida.
No.
And one that we'll have to circle, especially we'll see leading up, how they do leading up to us in that late October matchup, mid-October, late October range. So I'm excited to see. I mean, I'll be honest, Clark, after this week and the further along and deeper we go into the season, you start to think the schedule might not be
as easy as
initially thought. There might be a little bit better football being played in this conference from every level of the league than what we thought, which leads us into our next game.
Yeah. Before we do that, hold up.
All right.
I heard, I don't know if it was McElroy or somebody, but they were convinced. I think it was SEC Insider or Tonight or whatever they do after all the games are played. But they were sitting there saying that the East, top to bottom, potentially looks a lot better than the West this year, which is interesting. That's an interesting take. But, I mean, there may be some people out there.
You can make an argument for that.
That's
you really can with how LSU is. Oh, that's a train wreck.
Talking about the SEC West, though, yes, you're right. Texas at Arkansas. Man, we were wrong about this one.
Yeah. I'll be honest. And I've said on 2 episodes, I said, I love Sam Pittman, but I just don't think Arkansas is going to just be at where we thought. But, man, Saturday night, they proved me wrong on that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it speaks more to Sam Pittman and his team, or if maybe we overhyped Texas a little bit too much.
Yeah. That's what college football is all about, is a big old Southwestern Conference rivalry.
Yeah.
Texas and Arkansas. Arkansas hates Texas more than anybody. And the rare occasion they get to play them, they win, storm the field, tear the goalposts down. A lot of momentum in Fayetteville, and they come to Athens on October 2nd. So a few weeks from now, and I think they have, it might possibly be Chattanooga this weekend, I believe. But it's one of those top teams this weekend. And then they have, I believe it's A&M in Dallas, their neutral site game against A&M. So it'll be interesting to see if they beat A&M, which will more than likely be a top 10 team, top 5 team coming into that game. Then, man, a lot of momentum coming into that game in Athens, hopefully against 2 undefeated squads. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on. I mean, the guy they're playing ball, good defense, really good defense being played in Fayetteville this year.
They were line blocked really well, too. The run game, I mean, Texas couldn't stop it. So, and then our second to last game here, Iowa at Iowa State, 27-17. The Hawkeyes won that one. Man, Iowa State just turned the ball over one too many times there and just didn't look too good. But
when a team has your number, Clark, a team has your number.
You said that.
That's all it is to it. I mean, it's just a mental case with old Cyclones. I'm sure the Cyclone fans are really tore up about it. Really building up the Matt Campbell era, the offense, everybody coming back. Breece Hall, Brock Purdy. They just look abysmal Saturday. Just
Bless their hearts.
Look abysmal.
Bless their hearts. But I don't feel bad for them because Iowa's my second.
And Iowa State, just get them out of the conversation. They never should be considered for a playoff conversation. But watch them go beat Oklahoma now.
Now, I'll tell you, hey, I'd be fine with that. But, Iowa's sitting at number 4 right now. What?
Impressive resume so far.
Yeah.
They go destroy ranked Indiana team week 1, and then they come and go to Iowa State top 10 team. And so 2 ranked wins open up the year for Iowa.
Yeah. That's impressive.
Kurt Frentz has got them rolling. We'll see. We will see.
Yeah. All right. Last game of last week that we'll talk about. Our game of the week, Adam. Hampton versus Old Dominion. We picked, both of us, Old Dominion, which we need to correct ourselves here.
They're the Monarchs.
The Monarchs, not the Lions. Although it is a little deceiving because their logo, there's a big old lion on there.
Yeah, but they're the Monarchs.
But the Monarchs. All that to say, 47-7, just an absolute beat down.
Love it.
And
Love it.
Did we ever figure out where Old Dominion plays football at?
It's in Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay. Well,
it is. It was in Virginia, and call that one right. Old Dominion rolls.
Well, Hampton, maybe they'll have a better shot next
Rebound next year. That's right. We would only hope.
Yes. We're going to really dig deep into that one.
Yeah.
So, all right. This week we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games we're going to pick.
All right.
5 games. Here we go. Auburn at Penn State. That is our college game day game, 7:30 in Happy Valley. Adam, who do you like in this matchup?
I hate to say it.
Oh, no.
I hate to say it.
Oh, no.
I think old Bo Nix goes up there to Happy Valley, and Brian Harsin and the guys go up there, and I think they win it.
Wow.
I don't know, Clark. I mean, golly, just going off the trend of SEC versus out-of-conference opponents. I know Big Ten's a step above the ACC and all these other conferences, but it's been a good year so far with the SEC against out-of-conference teams. So I'm going with Auburn as much as I hate to say it. I really think they're going to go up there and win one. Which just leads for the hype to keep growing in Opelika.
That's true.
And when it grows in Opelika, it's great just to see it just come tumbling down.
Yes.
And play the Dogs. So.
In a few weeks from now, that would be sweet for sure. You take Auburn. I want to take Penn State. I want to take the Nittany Lions. James Franklin. I just, with these big games, it's hard to pick against Penn State. Yeah. I don't care how good or bad their football team is. They like to take down opponents. I'm sure it'll probably be a whiteout up there. They'll play Sweet Caroline, and all 100,000 of them will probably be singing it. And great, that's a place I want to go to.
Yeah, that would be fun. We need to get old Josh Brooks to schedule us a game up there.
Yes, we need to write him a strongly worded letter.
That Row 60 podcast wants to go take a road trip to Happy Valley. Put it on the schedule, Josh.
That would be great.
Put it on there.
That'd be fun.
Yep.
So Penn State, I'm taking the Nittany Lions though.
All right, that's respectable.
We'll see.
That's respectable. That's respectable.
Next game, Alabama at Florida. Big SEC showdown right here.
All right, game of the week's back. I love it.
Oh man, 3:30 kickoff on CBS. If you can't find it, it is that is Eastern time. Playing in the swamp. Adam, Alabama or Florida? Who do you like?
This is a very traditional SEC matchup. As much as I hate to say it, it's been the most played SEC championship game that's been between Alabama and Florida. And I believe Alabama. They're going to win.
Okay.
They're going to win. I think they'll win maybe. I mean, I know last year was a shootout, but 2 completely different teams. I don't think it'll be close this go around. I think they'll win by about 17. I'm going to call about a 44-20 game. Maybe.
That's
or I don't know.
Adam.
I couldn't do my math right there.
I can't do math
somewhere along that range. Somewhere along the 37-20, 44-20 range.
Okay.
All I know is Florida scoring 20.
Now, wow.
20. 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals.
Ooh.
Hey, we need to calm down the hype of that old AR-15 man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh.
I mean, just because you did some good things against Florida Atlantic and South Florida, let's not make them the second coming of Tim Tebow quite yet.
Yeah.
We don't need that down in Gainesville. But, hey, if you want to hype it up, believe it, and we humble that, or somebody else humbles it before then, which would hopefully is this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love it. Nothing better than Gator tears.
Yeah. Yeah, and jorts. Oh, man. I think this game will be a bit closer. I don't know why. I don't know why. I think it's going to be about a 10-point game. And I don't think it's Alabama playing so bad, but I think Florida may shock a couple of people this week. I could be dead wrong, y'all. I don't know. But
they could. I mean, they're a good football team.
Yeah.
I mean, all jokes aside, they are a good football team. And as much as I hate to say it, they're well coached.
I don't know about that, but no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think it may be about a 10-point game, maybe 34-24.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So kind of close to what you were saying there.
Yeah.
All right. Nebraska.
No.
At Oklahoma. Fox, 12 o'clock, which I think that's Eastern time for us. Yeah. So, oh, man. Yes.
We just put this game on there for historical purposes.
Yeah.
For the, a very historic rivalry. Both programs dominated in the 70s. Nebraska was real good in the 90s. This is for any college football historian, you know how special Nebraska and Oklahoma is. Old Big 12 Southwest Conference rivalry. And coming back, being revived, but it ain't going to be close this year, Clark, because these programs are going in complete opposite directions. The Nebraska program is on life support up there with old Scott Frost. He's not going to pan out. This game, oh, man, I think Oklahoma is going to just beat the mess out of them. It could be something, honest gosh, like 49-3.
Yeah.
Maybe even worse than that.
I was thinking 52-7.
All right, yeah. Something like that. Something like that. But we're just putting on there for historical purpose.
Yeah.
Not going to be a ball game.
Nope. Next game, Arizona State at BYU ESPN. That is a 10:15 Eastern Standard Time kickoff.
Yeah.
I might stay up and watch that.
I tell you what.
we won't. We won't.
I'll tell you what, Clark. I'll be honest with you. Last week I watched BYU play Utah. And the Mormons were rocking.
Really?
In Provo.
I love it.
They were, I mean, a guy boomed a punt inside the 10. And I mean, they were just, I was like, let's go. That's kind of enthusia we like to see. So BYU's 2-0. They go beat their rival Utah last week. They beat Arizona week 1. So they're an independent team. Already won 2 games against the Pac-12 this year. Make it 3 and another Arizona team. Give me the BYU Cougars over Herm Edwards and the Sun Devils.
I like it. You know, BYU is one of my teams that I have like a rotation of teams. It goes BYU, Iowa, and sometimes like Idaho. And yes, but those are my 3 dynasty teams. I still to this day play NCAA 14, and that is one of my teams. BYU. That's why I'm picking them this week. They're going to beat the Sun Devils. By the way, Arizona State. We went back there to go and talking about them a little bit. 2008, Adam. We went out there. Georgia did end up beating them, but pregame, I never ran into more rude and rambunctious fans. They were awful. They were throwing beer bottles at our feet, people. And
honestly, we were children at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I was 6th grade. Good gracious.
Yeah, they were making fun of my headset. I was like, you just don't know good college football tradition.
That's right.
And Munson was still doing it at the time. Not road games, but, you know, they just didn't understand.
No.
They were making fun of my little radio headset that I had on.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I don't like Arizona State for that very reason.
Terrible folks.
Yeah. Well,
some of them.
Yeah. All right. And now
let's
for
go.
The game.
Let's go.
Dogs. Game of the week. University of Incarnate Word, the Cardinals. Versus the Texas State Bobcats. Both of these teams located in the Lone Star State. Ooh. Adam, let's talk about this game a little bit.
All right.
Who do you like?
Man, I got to roll with the old Bobcats of Texas State.
Really?
Yeah, give me the Texas State Bobcats. Just got a good feeling about them. Good running back. Good receiver core this year. So
really?
Give me Texas State. They're playing at Texas State. Not sure what city Texas State's located in. But in a big in-state game, give me the Bobcats.
Bobcats.
Big.
Adam, come on
38-10, Texas State book it.
Wow.
What time's kickoff on this game?
I couldn't.
Do we know? Is it on the interwebs?
I have no idea.
Right.
I think it's on like ESPN 3 or like.
Is it on the Ocho?
It may be on the Ocho. Yeah. Oh man, Adam, as much as I like Texas State,
okay,
I'm going to go with the University of Incarnate Word. I literally have to look at this and read it, because I'll forget. But the Cardinals are going to squawk this week. They're going to come in and just absolutely steamroll.
May I ask why you're so big on the Cardinals?
Yeah, one of the main reasons I love University of Incarnate Word, 3 reasons. They're a Catholic school. Not that I don't know why, but just kind of fond of Catholic schools, I guess. Number 2 is, Adam.
It's a baby Notre Dame. All right, go ahead.
Exactly, yeah. Number 2 is their official school motto is, the universe is yours. I like that,
That is deep.
The universe is yours.
It will make you pause and think. Yeah. I will say that. I'll give them that.
And the third reason I like the Cardinals in this matchup is because they have sent several fencers to compete in multiple NCAA fencing championships. Adam.
All right.
So like Parent Trap
dynasty.
Yes, like the Parent Trap where the 2 twins they go and they do some fencing. I'm taking the Cardinals in.
I'm rolling with the Bobcats.
All right, we'll see.
We'll see.
Okay, well, anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this thing up?
I'm good, Clark. I'm good. Let's talk about the dogs.
Let's talk about the dogs.
Let's end it with giving our predictions for Saturday.
All right.
Clark, go ahead.
I'm liking the dogs 41 to 24. Wait, no, I totally
24.
Hold up now. Hold on. I didn't say we'd score a lot of points. That's kind of my go-to.
But you think, well, I don't care about the points. You really think South Carolina is going to roll into Sanford Stadium and score 24 points?
No, I'm kidding. All right, here we go. No, we don't give up a touchdown. We give up 3 field goals, 9.
All right.
South Carolina 9, and I'm going to go the dogs 38.
38. All right. I like it.
So
I like it.
I think that's still over
right.
on the over-under there. So I'm contradicting myself, people. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. I like it. I'm going right here with it, 45 to nothing.
Whoa.
Goose egg from South Carolina. I believe in this defense that much. There's no doubt they're going to be focused. First SEC game, night game. Hopefully good weather. Right now there's rain on the forecast. Oh, well, if it's not good weather, and it comes into whoever's going to pound the ball the best,
might be a 10-3.
That's when our offensive line just step up, create them holes because they're not running the football. I can tell you right now, they're not going to run the football. So give me the dogs, 45 to nothing. Clark, it's going to be a good night in Sanford. Get the SEC slate started right. Yeah. Getting, I think we'll record about 4 or 5 sacks. Yeah. Get a couple picks, maybe even a scoop and score, pick 6 again.
I love it.
So it's going to be a fun night in Athens, man.
Yeah.
I really do believe that. It's going to be another performance when teams are to this level where Georgia is right now, where they're at right now, Clark. This means that you come in and you dominate against teams like South Carolina, what they are this year. You dominate from the first kick to the final whistle being blown. I think that's what Georgia is going to do Saturday night. We will see some other guys get playing time late in the second half because we have went through them. I hope JT Daniels will be back and ready to go and step in there and sling the football around and get the running game going. Defense do its thing. And it's just another week. We'll just keep building the hype.
I love it.
Another week.
I love it. Yep. Let's do it, baby.
Feel good. I'm going to call my player of the game for this particular game. I think Arian Smith with 2 touchdown catches.
Wow. I like it.
2 touchdown catches from Arian Smith. JT's going to find him. Jermaine Burton, and I believe he's going to have a touchdown pass or 2. So maybe old JT come out this week and get about 5 of his own this week.
Yeah, it ought to be interesting to see if JT's even healthy.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Clark. I mean, right now, that's what's everybody's bought into that program because you're not hearing nothing out of Butch-Amir. So honestly, we don't know if he will be ready or not. But I got a good feeling JT's going to be under center.
I hope so.
That's my gut feeling, and nothing against Stetson. He'd be great. And I think he'd go out there and beat him. But we're going to see both of them Saturday night. I truly believe that.
Yeah. Well. Let's wrap this thing up, Adam.
Let's do it.
You have any more just energy left in you for this?
I got it, man. All right, SEC opener, best conference in the nation here. Hey, night game, 7 o'clock, whether if you're at the house or you're in Sanford Stadium, but mentally prepare yourself from the morning. Get up. Hey, if you're going to go out there and get in the deer stands, you're going to go to the golf course, go get it out of the way in the morning and then be focused on the dogs. Get with the people you love, put some burgers on the grill, and just get ready to cheer on the dogs because it's South Carolina. We don't like South Carolina. We do not like South Carolina either, just like we don't like anybody else. But that's one that flies under the radar, people that we don't like. But we hate South Carolina is what Steve Spurrier coach there. Never forget that. Never forget that. We might like old good guy Shane Beamer, but Steve Spurrier coach there, and that's the fact that we don't like them. We've lost some games to them that's ruined some seasons in the past. This ain't going to be one of them. This is going to be a statement game. Woo! The nation will be put on notice after this for week 3 win to go 3-0. When they look at it late Saturday night when the highlights are up there, the question will be Saturday night, is anybody going to come close to beating Georgia or Alabama? No. So this is it, man. This is a season where it needs to be, Clark. It needs to be week after week after week. We stay at that number 2 or that number 1 spot, and every week It's the question is, can anybody beat Georgia? Can anybody beat Georgia that's left on this football schedule? Can anybody come close to beating Georgia? And championship teams, they go out there and they take care of business. Georgia's going to roll Saturday night 45-0. Everybody, special times we're living in. Enjoy it, soak it in, cherish it. Go Dogs, baby.
Go Dogs.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Woo! Loved it. Adam, why did I say 41-24? I didn't even know what I was saying. I was so flustered. And that's kind of my go-to score. Like, if I don't know. I just said 24 points. What am I saying? Oh, my goodness.